And we are on air.
Hi guys, my name's Brianna, and today I'm going to be ranking all of Taylor Swift's albums, so let's get right into the video. So Taylor Swift's newest album, Midnights, came out about 2 months ago, and right before it came out, I did a video ranking all of the Taylor Swift songs, obviously minus Midnights because it was right before that album. I talked a little bit in that video how I struggle with where to rank the albums because some albums have songs that for me are all the way at the top and all the way at the bottom. And if an album is so split, do you rank it above a mid-tier album because it has higher songs? Or do you rank it lower because it has songs that are lower? I have finally come to my album ranking conclusion, so I thought I would share it with you guys. So the first thing that I did to try and figure out where I should rank each album is I took the number in my rankings for each individual song and averaged what each album's spot would be, if that makes sense. So if it has a song at 5 on the list and a song at 20 on the list and a song at 50 on the list, I averaged all of those and saw what number I got. That gave me a rough idea of mathematically where the albums lie. Of course, that doesn't account for my personal opinion of how big of a gap there are between songs. This song might be number 2 and this one might be number 3, but I might feel like this one is that much better. Or I might be like, it was a really close call. So it's not a definitive list quite yet. I then looked at it, decided what I think. I also had to insert Midnights somewhere in there as well because I didn't include Midnights in that math. I haven't added Midnight songs to my full rankings yet because I feel like when an album is new, I am hearing the songs still fresh, and so I'm liking them more, and I don't want to put it in individually with the songs ranked and have it be higher than it would end up being after I'm less biased and less new and fresh in it, if that makes sense. So I might do an updated ranking every song eventually when I feel like Midnights isn't as close anymore and I feel like I gave it some distance and I view her whole discography unbiased now as opposed to I love the newest stuff, But I did fit the whole album as a whole in because I felt like that was a little easier to be unbiased in. But anyways, enough rambling about why I did certain things and let's just talk about what I actually did. So a lot of people are going on and on and on about how Midnights is Taylor's best album yet, and I think it's fantastic, but I think that's the bias speaking. I placed Midnights as my number 2 album, which again, being as that's my current most listened to and what I'm hearing the most of Taylor Swift, that was a hard decision, but I just think that that's the case. My number 1, I decided, drumroll, Reputation! I think some people might be surprised by this if you keep up with my videos because my Apple Music replay had Midnights and Lover in my top albums. So I've listened to Lover more this year than I have to Reputation. But I think that's just circumstantial and mood based. It's really tricky to go off of how many times I listen to something to figure out where I should rank it because I might listen to this way more often because it's upbeat and fun, but I actually like this more. It's just not always the right mood. You know what I mean? And Lover has a lot of fun, poppy, upbeat songs, so... Oh, my hair! Ugh, my hair is falling out. Pause while I fix my hair. I hope that's okay because I didn't go look in the mirror. But anyways, Lover does have a lot of poppy, upbeat songs, and I think that's why I tend to listen to it more often. It's still in the upper half of my rankings, but not number 1. Number 1 goes to Reputation. It's just such a good album. Like, I don't know, I don't even have any words for it. It's just incredible. I love it. So, after Reputation, next is Midnights. Everybody is in love with Midnights right now. I don't think I have to explain why that's pretty high up on my list. It's a fantastic album. Next, for me, you might be thinking, oh, here comes Lover. Not yet. Next is Evermore. I know that for me, the reason I love Evermore so much much is because of personal reasons and my circumstance I was going through when I first heard the album, and how much it helped me and connected with me, and the amount I cried to this album. So this is definitely a very personal choice, ranking it pretty high. But aside from that, it also is a very good album, and I do see why people struggle whether to put Folklore or Evermore over each other. But like I said, for me, I had a huge personal connection with Evermore, and I did connect with Folklore a lot as well, and I did cry to that album a lot as well. But for me, Evermore, I was in it, you know. I wasn't listening to some Folklore songs to help me out. Like, Evermore came out when I was in it, and I love that album. So Evermore gets number 3, and then number 4 next is Lover. I love Lover, but like I said, I think it's more my most listened to because of the type of music that's on it. There are some Lover songs that I rarely ever listen to, you know, those sadder songs. I just think when it comes to emotional stuff, Lover is not my go-to. Lover is my go-to to dance around and have fun. I don't know. But then after Lover, we have Folklore. Like I said, I do think that Folklore and Evermore are actually pretty close. It's just my personal connection that gave it that edge. But right after Lover then comes Folklore. So that would be my top half albums, my favorite albums. So just quickly refresh your mind. We got Reputation, Midnights, Evermore, Lover, Folklore. So those are my favorite Taylor Swift albums. I'm putting quotes just because I love all of Taylor Swift's music, and it is really hard to rank these songs because a lot of these songs are very spread out in my rankings. They're not all of these songs are up high and all of these songs are lower. So this was really hard, and I know now that we're getting into the lower half of my rankings, I'm gonna start getting those comments, justice for this album, justice for this album. I love them all, okay? Something has to be at the bottom though, okay? Next, 6th album in my rankings, 1989. I really do love 1989. All the songs are very good, but there's like no one song that was like really top for me, if that makes sense. So that's why it's kind of going in the middle of my rankings here. But it is interesting to me is from my experience, people who aren't like Taylor Swift fans but like listen to Taylor Swift say that this is her best album. And I've only heard that from non-Taylor Swift fans, but almost all non-Taylor Swift fans think that this is her best album. So that's pretty interesting. I don't think I even know a single fan who would say this is their favorite album. So if this is your favorite album, comment down below. Are you a casual listener or do you really love Taylor Swift? Tell me about it. But then next, 7th slot, Speak Now. Again, I really love Speak Now, but not all of the songs are high in my rankings. It's a pretty split album. Then next, 8th slot is Red. Red has some really good songs, but it is such a long album, so many songs, that even though there's a good handful of high up songs, there's a huge handful of ones that are a bit lower in my rankings as well. So for me overall, I just felt like there wasn't enough songs in my top to put it too high up. Then in the 9th slot, I have Fearless. Fearless is another really good album, but we're getting less and less songs that I would say are top tier. And it's hard to say because I mean top tier within Taylor Swift, not top tier within music in general, because honestly most Taylor Swift songs are top tier for general music. But I don't know, there are more songs I like and less songs I absolutely love on this album. And then lastly, we have Debut. I know some people get really upset when they see other people rank Debut as their least favorite album, but it's not because I don't like Debut. I love Debut, but I personally think she has only gotten better since then, and Debut being so good and being her starting point is incredible, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna rank it high just because it's impressive that she started that well, because in comparison to how much she's improved, it's just not comparable. Her other albums, I just think they're better. I don't know, it is such a good album, so it is really tricky to say that, but I don't know. Comment down below what you think. Do you agree with my album album ranking, or would you rank it differently? Are you offended by any of the choices I made? Also, this is my personal rankings. If you do not listen to Taylor Swift, this is not what I recommend. Meaning, I don't think Reputation is necessarily the best place to start if you don't like Taylor Swift and you want to check her out for the first time. I don't think there's one album in particular you should check out if you want to become a Taylor Swift fan or you're interested in seeing what the hype's about. I think there's specific songs depending on what type of music you listen to. If anyone is interested in getting into Taylor Swift and currently is not, comment down below what kind of music you currently listen to and I will recommend you where to start, because she really does have something for everyone, I feel like, and depending on your music taste, you might hear one song and be like, oh, that's not my style at all, I definitely don't like Taylor Swift, when in reality she might have a lot of songs that like fit your style exactly. So have an open mind, people. But for now, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy VEDID, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.